I have a question for you guys. Is there something in your life that you really enjoy and you find yourself at odds with a lot of people who don't see it the same way as you? That could be music, that could be food, or it could be, in this case, a movie. Mark Savia, Savvy Geeks here, to talk to you about Quantumania. Now, I don't think I'm the only person that liked the movie. I think a lot of people did enjoy it. But what I'm talking about specifically is MODOK. So many people hated MODOK, and I do not agree. I thought MODOK was so funny. That's what I'm kicking out. So many people are going to stop listening right here because of all the good things I'm going to say about MODOK to kick it off. But I thought MODOK was so funny, and the one, remember that one scene where he's like, or where she's like, "Oh, stop being a D word." 'Cause I don't want to swear. Stop being a D word. And he's like, "But I can't. Look at me. I'm such a D word." That was so funny. And also, I don't know what people expected the CGI to look. Do you not know what MODOK is? That's what MODOK is. Yeah, his face is all stupid and it's in this little tiny thing. But yeah, MODOK is a ridiculous character. Newsflash, people, we're talking about a guy who controls ants. It's reasonable to expect someone ridiculous looking to be in his movie. And also, like, I really liked Ant-Man, the third Ant-Man. And I like the other two as well. I don't know. I just don't get the hate for this film. I thought it was so funny and the stakes were so high. Like, I thought the quantum realm was so cool, the way they explained it and how we all explored it. I thought Kang the Conqueror was a badass villain. Jonathan Majors absolutely crushed it as Kang the Conqueror. I really wish they just recast it. Like, dang, son, just recast him. He's too important of a character. The way they kind of pivoted in the MCU, some people were saying is due to the failure of this film. Obviously, a lot of it's to the personal issues that Jonathan Majors faced. But regardless, like, pivoting from Kang was a stupid decision. He was so good in this movie. He was so good in Loki season 2. Absolutely amazing villain. I just wish we saw more of him. He could have totally been the big bad. Why you gotta do Doctor Doom for? I like Doctor Doom, but I don't want him to be the big bad. Kang was perfectly set up to be that character, to have that role. I mean, what stood out for me the most in Quantumania was the dynamic of the Hope, the Van Dyne, and the Lang family. Like, that was a really good dynamic. I didn't really like Evangeline Lilly's haircut in this film, to be honest. But whatever, just a haircut, who cares? As a character, Hope Van Dyne was amazing. Cassie, all grown up, was so good. Throughout the whole Ant-Man trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, I always thought Cassie to be a character that brought out this innate goodness in Scott. She was the heart of the Ant-Man franchise, really, from when she was a little kid to now all grown up. Such a strong character and so important to the morality of Scott, you know? Isn't it pretty awesome how they had Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer in their franchise, the Ant-Man franchise? I call it a franchise, but honestly, I feel like we've seen the end of the franchise, which is pretty sad. I'm sure Cassie will come back when they do a Young Avengers, but unfortunately, the movie did not do well. It bombed. That's the reality. Ant-Man Quantumania absolutely bombed, and I think that means that'll be the last we see of Scott Lang in his own movie. I have the Rotten Tomatoes scores, which I don't typically do. I don't usually mention the scores. It's just, I mean, who really cares, honestly? But it's important in the context of this because of this discussion. I mean, because Ant-Man got a 46% critic score, which is very rare for a Marvel film. They usually do well. However, the audience score did 82%. So I think majority of people felt the same as me, which was this was a really good movie, fun movie. I use the word fun a lot because fun doesn't always mean quality. Sometimes you can really enjoy something, but as a movie itself, it's not like it's Oscar worthy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, studios do not care about scores, Rotten Tomato scores, IMDb scores. That just doesn't matter to them. What they care about is the numbers. That green. How have they? Oh my God! How has the movie done? That was my reaction to the budget as a whole. I can't believe this has got to be the highest budget I've in any MCU movie. So Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania had a $388 million budget. Are you out of your mind? That's the budget you put on this film? What is wrong with you? These budgets have to come down because this is absolutely ridiculous. You're telling me that this movie was almost as expensive as Avengers Endgame, the culmination of an entire era of Marvel? You guys have lost the plot. That's ridiculous. You got to completely change that. I cannot believe how much that budget was. It did decent at the box office. I consider $476 million decent. Okay, this movie should have been like 200. Come on, this is ridiculous. I'm like actually in disbelief at how much that movie cost. Holy crap. I think I can say crap. I'm trying not to like flag this as like, swear words when I do the video. Hey, it's too bad that we're not going to get any more Ant-Man movies. I think they could have totally recalibrated and done better next time. These movies, Ant-Man movies specifically, should be like 150 maybe $1 million budgets. Like they should be way better than that. That's ridiculous. Well, I mean, it still was pretty decent. It's not like one of the high-end Marvel films. Like there were negatives to it, obviously. Like that whole scene where he's like trying to get the rings. He's going the ring to like get something for Kang, and he kept seeing possibilities of himself. It's a little weird. I didn't really connect to the story this time. Like even though I have a lot of positives to say, it wasn't as compelling of a story as the first two. I mean, it still is, I think, better than the films that I put ahead of it, which is it comes in at number 26. So that means it's better than Thor: Dark World, Black Widow, Iron Man 3, Captain Marvel, Love and Thunder. I'm sorry, I just didn't love Iron Man 3 that much. You know what? I'm gonna do something I've never done before. I'm gonna actually, because it's not the rankings aren't ironed out until the episode airs. I'm actually gonna put Quantumania behind Iron Man 3. Yeah. So that means it's actually gonna come in at, I gotta do some changes here. Never done that before. I'm just thinking about it, So that means Quantumania is actually gonna come out at 29th. Yeah, that's where it's definitely ahead of Captain Marvel and Love and Thunder, but it's behind Iron Man 3 because I did still like that movie. Wow, we have 3 movies left. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, and then we're going to end off on Deadpool Wolverine. I'm going to put these episodes out right away because I want to end the year off finishing this MCU rewatch. I should have finished it off so long ago, but it's been such a slog doing all these Marvel movies. I like them, but it's just so much. I'm not going to do this again. Or am I? Thank you for listening to another episode of Savvy Geeks. I'm your host, Mark Savvy, and I can't wait to talk to you about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the next movie in our rewatch.